La Williams 2024. Oh là là, tous ces pontons. Oh les pontons. Montre-nous les pontons. Ouais, fais-nous rêver, fais-nous rêver, fais-nous une belle Williams.
A story of raw talent, unfiltered ambition,
Yeah,
real racing.
the ambition. You know what I'm saying? La combi est blanche déjà, ça on l'a vu sur le leak. Allez, montre-nous la bagnole. Montre-nous la bagnole, montre-nous les pontons là.
And the next chapter starts right here. The beginning of our
Ouais.
next great adventure.
Pitié qu'ils aient gardé le Duracell au-dessus.
That looks insane. Super cool.
This is our time. Your
Pitié qu'ils
time.
aient gardé le Duracell.
Our greatest races are yet to come.
Et quand elle apparaît, faut spam de haut les pontons.
History made. History in
Juste
the
pour bluff,
making.
on est tous des experts en aéro.
Now, Williams
But-
is a team which needs very little introduction. After all, it is one of the most successful.
Putain les gars, j'ai lancé
in the
Netflix.
rich, storied, almost 75-year
Merde.
history of the Formula One World Championship. Today, Williams is a team very much on the rise, with its stated aim.
Bah si, Will
being
pour
to
présenter une
return
Williams.
itself to the sharp end of competition in this most competitive of sports. Now, a new season represents a new chapter
Yeah.
for any team, and we're going to be focusing on that today.
Tu bosses
So
pour
let's take a
Williams,
little
Will?
look at what's coming up. We'll catch up with Williams racing drivers.
Mais pourquoi il nous faut une présentation comme une télé-réalité?
Check in with this year's Academy drivers who are all looking to
Pourquoi?
follow in the footsteps of Williams legends of the past. Team principal James Vowles looks back over his first 12 months.
On dirait une
in the
sitcom.
squad and looks ahead to what we can
Everywhere
expect this year.
you know,
And of
everywhere
course,
you
today
go.
is all about getting that
Avec
first
Alexander
sight of
Albon.
the new look Williams 2024
Na 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 na.
Williams has always been about racing, and at the heart of that racing story are the team's racing cars. We know why you're all here, so let's not waste
Oui,
another second. It's
bien
time
sûr.
to take a first look.
Voilà,
at the
merci.
2024
Merci,
Williams
merci,
Racing
ça va, ils
Livery.
nous font pas durer trop longtemps. Vas-y. Oh les pontons! Pardon, trop tôt. Excusez-moi. Faut pas hésiter à spam oh les pontons quand on les voit. Comme ça, on est vraiment expert en aéro. Tout le monde pense qu'on s'y connaît de ouf. Eh! Ah, il y a un peu de rouge. Attendez, attendez. Y a... Oh là là, ça a l'air d'être un classique. Ça a l'air d'être un classique. Il y a encore la pile Duracell. Attendez. Fais-moi bander. Marsouinage dans le calbar. Ouais. Fais-moi rêver, fais-moi rêver. Fais-moi rêver. Oui, oui, vous êtes très beau, y a pas de souci, mais montrez-moi la voiture en fait. La voiture, oui.
The FW46 livery sends the message of what Williams Racing is all about. In
Attendez,
2024.
non, j'ai besoin de plus. Oh, les pontons! Pardon, excusez-moi, non, j'ai besoin de plus. J'ai besoin de voir. Mets-moi un plan large. C'est très bleu, quoi. En fait, on dirait celle de 2022, tu sais, avec un bleu plus sombre. Ah, mais en fait, j'aime beaucoup ça. Le côté, la ligne rouge, blanche, tout, j'aime bien. Attends. Eh, fais-nous un grand plan, s'il te plaît, je veux voir. Eh, moi, je suis pas payé par les sponsors là. Pas trop de pub, pas trop de pub. Le rat. Mais ouais, mais on dirait celle de 2022, avec un bleu plus sombre.
And I've been joined by 2024 Williams Racing drivers Alex Albon.
Mais on dirait on est d'accord, on dirait celle de 2022 mais avec la pile Duracell. Non?
Evolved over last year. Got a few more sponsors on, which is always good.
Je suis pas fan.
Blue.
Blue. But
Bien bleu,
was to be
ouais.
expected, I have to say. If it was anything other than blue, I would have been worried.
I agree. I think it looks really good.
On en pense quoi?
And normally clean means fast.
Sur 10?
We'll go with that.
Hopefully we'll
Moi c'est
we'll
5,
make
je
that
trouve
happen.
ça fade du
Alex,
coup.
you had an
C'est un
outstanding
5 sur 10 quoi, genre
2023. You
c'est...
personally noted you believe it was your best season ever
C'est fade
in
quoi.
Formula One. What are your reflections
Mais
on
ouais voilà.
last year?
Thank you, first of all. I would say more than anything, a little bit more confidence, a bit more experience. It always goes.
Mais
a
ouais
long
du coup
way.
on comprend pas trop pourquoi
And,
les combis blanches.
More chemistry with the team. That first year is more about, learning the team, learning what the cars. Hopefully performance. Let's see.
Logan, Formula One has, I think, inarguably never been more difficult for rookie drivers to come in. But your progression was astounding. What did you learn through 2023, and how did you change your approach throughout the season and into this?
Y a pas une petite, des petits sous-titres?
For me, just to have had a year under my belt now.
Ouais, bon, la saison de Logan Sargent, on va pas trop en parler, mais.
Throughout the season, now have a reference for everywhere I'm going to go is such a huge advantage going into my second year, and I think, Alex touched on it. This car is going to be very different to last year, and it's important to get on top of that as quickly as we can. But I think having that break in the off season to really sort of get myself in the right place.
En tout cas, en vrai, c'est toujours intéressant les moments où ils font des interviews quand même. C'est mieux que de juste drop la voiture, quoi. Vous me voyez ou pas? Elle est plus jolie sur les photos, je trouve.
What are your expectations of the 46, and
Montre.
is it a car that suits your driving style? Are you going to have to adapt yourself to it?
Yeah, for sure. The driving style will need a change, but I think we're already starting to do that on the simulator.
Je jure que là, si on regarde les, attendez, si on regarde les photos là, je vois moi celle de 2021 mais avec la pile Duracell quoi. De 2022 pardon. Genre plus sombre. Ouais. Je bande pas plus que ça quoi. Oh les pontons. Non mais ouais j'aime pas. J'aime pas. Moi je sais pas, c'est vraiment pas, c'est pas mon style. C'est pas mon style pour le coup. Une demi-molle, ouais. Tu sais, c'est un peu fade quoi. Est-ce que si je fais ça, ça va plus vite? C'est Williams quoi. Oui mais t'avais des possibilités, genre on s'attendait à du blanc ou un truc, tu vois.
Logan, Alex, have the team set any objectives for the year? Have you set yourself any personal objectives for the year?
Mais j'avoue que ouais.
The objectives honestly always, stay quite similar. It's going to be about, of course, taking a step forward for myself, but at the same time just maximizing the package, being more consistent, and trying to do that for the duration of the season.
Yeah, there's a couple of things personally speaking I want to try and improve going into this year.
J'aime bien les combis blanches, ça me rappelle Mercedes à l'ancienne. Non mais les combis blanches, ça a toujours un petit flow sympa. Mais c'est bon, la voiture, je m'attendais à un autre, enfin tu vois, genre je sais pas.
How many points they've added on and how much quicker they are from last year. It's all comparative, so let's see how we fare against everyone else, but we've definitely done a good job. I don't want to talk a big game too early.
Ils disent qu'ils ont fait un bon travail l'année dernière, et c'est vrai, Williams a fait une belle saison pour Williams, et ils sont dans une belle direction. Donc on va voir si ça va s'améliorer encore plus. Après, on rappelle, je crois que les infrastructures Williams sont ultra vieilles. Je sais pas quand ce sera remis à neuf. Je sais pas si c'est déjà en cours, je me souviens plus. Mais vu leurs infrastructures, justement, ils se sont vraiment pas mal démerdés l'année dernière. Ouais, allez. Il n'y a pas la nouvelle usine Aston Martin. Aston Martin, si. Aston Martin, je crois qu'ils ont une nouvelle usine, non? Il s'est passé quoi? Bah ça, j'ai crash. J'ai mon PC qui fait des crashs, je sais pas pourquoi. Et genre, je n'ai aucune explication. Je vais peut-être passer sur OBS plutôt que Streamlabs. On en pense quoi? Bah c'est fade en vrai.
Motivated than ever to keep improving and get back to the front.
Lovely stuff. Best of luck to you both in 2024. Now, as these guys mentioned, one of the most positive and I think talked about news stories in 2023 was the appointment of James Vowles as team principal here at Williams Racing. And back in December, we caught up with him.
Non, j'ai pas changé de PC, j'avais changé de carte graphique juste.
Grove to look back over an eventful first year.
Williams Racing have just announced that James Vowles will be their new team principal.
Pourquoi il nous faut un truc à l'ancienne?
Eh oui, c'est officiel. James Rolls est maintenant le team principal de Williams.
C'est pas mal, j'aime bien.
I came from Mercedes, which has really everything you could possibly want and then some, to Williams, which is driven by an amount of passion that drives me even now.
Pourquoi t'as parlé comme Nelson Fort? Parce que genre les voix à l'ancienne comme ça dans les radios.
Some of the infrastructure, a lot of the infrastructure, in fact, that I was used to.
Bon, attendez 2 secondes. Je poste TikTok. Je m'occupe de tout ça. Vous permettez.
10, 20 individuals that will tell you their life story and you realize how interconnected it is with Williams. The challenge I set out was first and foremost, let's do our utmost to actually unlock a little bit more money for this team to move forward. The second was, let's try and capture some of the low-hanging fruit of perhaps what we're not getting the most out of this package with them. Everything else was about how do we move this team large chunks forward in 24, 25, 26? How far do we push the boundaries of what we're doing without hopefully breaking the system to the point where we get ourselves in trouble. And it's finding that right balance, and that's the journey we're on today.
J'arrive.
I remember still walking into the pit wall just before qualifying and having a chat to the team at the time. And they said, just prepare yourself. It's tough when you see that you're struggling to get out of Q1. And I was more optimistic than that, but they gave me the preparations for it. When obviously we did far more than that, and not just that race, from those races onwards. This year was actually about just pure fundamentals, get it right, and you can pick off a point that's available to you here and there. And about halfway through the year, race after race, we started to deliver points.
Comme j'expliquais, j'ai pas de CM, donc je suis un peu obligé de tout faire solo sur des trucs importants. Mais je suis à vous dans 5 secondes.
Alex doing a brilliant job, the team doing a brilliant job, everyone just delivering where they had to in front of a home crowd that was cheering in the background. That sort of memory, I hope, will stay with me for the rest of my life. Everyone can look back and be proud of what we've achieved in the last 12 months because it is a large achievement. It may not seem it on the outset, but it's the start of our journey together. And more importantly, the outside world looks at Williams not in the same way as for the last 5 years, which is they're just here to participate. They're here as a serious competitor that want to move up the grid relative to everyone else. They're investing in areas. It's a change in momentum, a change in guard. I just reflect back and just look with pride of where we've moved from and where we are today.
And now James Vowles joins me in the studio. James, welcome.
How well?
We've just watched you reflect back over 12 months with the Williams racing team.
Hop là.
Looking to the present, tell us what you think about the FW46 livery and your first team launch here at Williams.
I'm really proud of
Il y a le nouveau merch Williams sur leur shop.
In a number of aspects.
Et ça donne quoi? On va regarder le nouveau merch.
Look at the car 12 months ago and look at the car today. Look at the amount of top brand sponsors that are on the journey with us. And that for me is a real boon and a suggestion of direction of travel that we're in. The second element of things is when I look at the livery, it's sort of got this really nice progression between the blues, which for me signifies where we have been and where we're going. It's got a nod, which is subtle in there, but you will see it back to Frank and back to our history. It contains for me the history of what the team is, a signifying.
Après, c'est un beau bleu, tu vois. Mais comme il y a d'autres parties de la voiture qui sont sombres, je trouve que ça assombrit le bleu. Je sais pas comment dire. Tu sais, c'est un peu comme quand tu peins tes murs en blanc pour avoir une impression d'une pièce plus grande. Moi, je suis pas fan, c'est pas mon style. Je préfère celle. J'aime trop ce bleu sombre comme ça. Vous aimez le sombre? Ouais, j'aime pas moi. Moi, j'aime pas le bleu sombre.
You're not going to do it in 1 year. That's simply just not possible, but we will get there. And we will get there because the perseverance, the belief, the passion is at the highest level I've ever seen. And that carries you through a tremendous amount.
What are you most looking forward to then in 2024?
I mean, right now, I can't wait for the sound, the smell, the feeling of when you stand behind the car and you watch it drive out the garage for the first time at Bahrain. The feeling is like none. The significance of it is that you're taking about 12 months worth of work. That's what it is nowadays to start your design process and build your car. You're looking at that and you can sum it up in just a few seconds. That's the hard work of nearly 1,000 people being brought down to a few seconds. And that's what I'm looking forward to, being a part of that again.
Excellent stuff. The Williams Racing Driver Academy has been in full force. Can you talk us through the importance of the academy and what it means for the future of the sport.
It means a tremendous amount to me because myself, I was a graduate, whatever, 25, 30 years ago, came up through the ranks. And when I watch it, young drivers are no different to that. They're individuals who will give you everything that they can. And if they're good enough,
il y a le nom des pilotes et les drapeaux sur le halo. Ah ouais? Mais ça a toujours été, non?
11 or 8 at the early age of things into Formula One. So it means a lot to me. Same for Williams. If you look at Williams and what we stand for creating an environment where we are bringing through new generations of individuals, be that into the engineering world or as a driver. And it's what I stand for, it's what our team stands for. What I really like is if you go up and down our ranks, all the way down into karting.
C'est quand le début des essais hivernaux? En général, c'est quoi? C'est vers le 20 février, non? Un truc comme ça?
I'm excited by what the future brings.
James, thank you so much and best of luck for 2024. Now, as mentioned, Williams has always given young drivers
21 février au 23, ok. Et c'est à Bahreïn, du coup, je suppose?
This year, the Williams Academy is bigger and better than ever, supporting drivers from grassroots level all the way through the motorsport ladder. So let's find out what one of the Academy's youngest is up to.
À Sakir. Ouais, à Bahreïn.
My name is Alexander Bondarev. I'm from Ukraine and I'm racing in karting in the OK class this year. I was a big fan of the movie Cars since I was 3, so yeah, I think that's the main thing that got me into racing. Last year I was racing in karting also, but in the OKJ class. The year went great.
Bahreïn c'est le pays, donc à Sakir. Ouais, du coup à Bahreïn.
This year I moved up to the OK senior class.
Ouais, du coup ça marche quoi.
Great. I already got 2 wins so far, so I think we have a very strong season.
J'aime trop qu'ils nous fassent des présentations vraiment
des
pilotes de l'académie. Elle fait quoi maintenant, Chadwick?
Jamie, we've just seen 14-year-old Alexander, who of course has been competing at international level in karts. We all know how competitive and how important it is to start your career in karts, but also the importance of having the allyship.
En tout cas, elle fait pas de F1, ouais, en tout cas.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think seeing Williams getting involved in
je sais pas si juste elle est dans le background en mode pour la com ou si elle pilote de réserve Williams. Ok.
Now to see how many drivers we have in the academy, and like you said, in karting as well, it's fundamental, and I think their career development is going to be massively benefited from that.
And the Williams Academy is growing by the day, by the week. Recent announcements that Alessandro Giusti has joined the program along with 13-year-old karter Sara Matsui.
Ah pardon, permettez encore. J'ai presque fini.
Her debut in the F1
Her debut. Putain, ça se dit ça? Her debut? Le début, c'est un mot français utilisé en anglais? Ça, je savais même pas.
I did Pikes Peak, I did the Baja 1000. My highlight of last year was winning the ARA Rally Championship in the US.
Allez là,
it's something that I've been working towards for a couple years now, and to get that done in dusted was really cool. This year I'm debuting in single-seaters. I've never raced this type of motorsport, so it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a big challenge, but I'm ready for it.
Jamie, as an F1 Academy advisor, I feel like you're the perfect person to talk about Leah and the huge job that really.
Tu aurais dit quoi, toi? Je sais pas. Je me pose la question. Leur début, leur... The beginning, j'aurais dit beginning, je pense. Du coup. Oh, le niveau d'anglais, oui, bon, ça va, les... Ah non, c'est Wingardium Leviosa, c'est bon, les mecs qui viennent de Brooklyn, là. Je savais pas qu'on disait hair debut. Je savais pas que debut c'était utilisé, je savais que pour rendez-vous, pour plein de trucs, mais pas début. Tu feras du Le Mans Ultimate? Je pense, ouais, je sais pas.
Enjoy watching what is going to be quite a revolutionary year for women in the sport.
Really hope it will be, absolutely. And of course, for the champions of F1 Academy, the hope to step up, to progress through the ladder, and the natural next step would be Formula 3. And let's see who will be representing Williams Racing in that championship in 2024.
De quoi en F3?
My name is Luke Browning. I'm a Williams Racing Academy driver, and this year I'll be racing for High.
Alors start. Ah, mais du coup, c'est bien. Enfin, c'est. Qui est le mot début en vrai. Clean quoi.
After the couple days were over, I needed some good sleep. You know, I think I slept about 10 or 11 hours after that. My body was crying, but I feel really well prepared now. Being a member of the Williams Academy is the most special thing about my career. Having the opportunity to shoot for the stars, having the faith of both Jameses behind me. Everyone in Williams now has a vision and sees where it's going, and I want to be a part of that.
Jamie, F3 as a preparatory series is critical for a driver's development and hopes of making it to Formula One. What are the unique challenges of that championship?
I think the tough thing about F3 is you almost need to be the finished product by the time you get there almost. You know, there's not much room for development. You're going in at a really high level. You're racing on the F1 circus. You've got to prove yourself. You've got sort of a very short window to prove it. So looking at a lot of these drivers, they've got to come in and be on the money straight away almost.
And what do you think Luke's aims for 2024 will be? Is it a year of learning? Is it gunning for the title?
I think it has to be gunning for the title. I mean, he finished off the year last
En
year.
vrai, ça setup Williams, je call, il finit devant Alpine.
As a driver, I think
Il y a moyen, hein.
Il
Il y a grave moyen. Pour l'instant, en fait, il faut regarder les dynamiques. La dynamique de Williams est beaucoup plus positive que la dynamique d'Alpine.
Absolutely, we all agree with that. F1, of course, is the ultimate goal of any racing driver, and the Williams Racing Driver Academy has two drivers tantalizingly close to the pinnacle of the sport. They will both be racing this year in the Formula 2 Championship.
Ah, les pilotes Williams en F2 du coup.
And this year I'll be racing with ART GP in Formula 2. Last year I was racing in Formula 3. I finished second in the championship, so quite a successful season. Highlight from me last year, I would say, was competing in FP1 in Abu Dhabi with Williams. And the opportunity you get to drive a modern F1 car is so special.
Enfin bref, ok. Je pense qu'on va pas se taper tous les pilotes réservistes et, de l'académie Williams en interview. On a vu l'essentiel, on a vu la nouvelle Williams, qui du coup est vraiment très très similaire à celle de 2022, beaucoup plus sombre. Moi c'est pas trop mon style. Après il y en a qui aiment bien, il y en a qui aiment pas. Moi c'est pas, même en vrai comme ça. Je trouve un peu plus uni ici. C'était plus sombre. C'était beaucoup plus sombre en 2022 quand même. Sur l'aileron, sur le nez comme ça. Non, elle est sympa, elle est pas moche, mais c'est un style du coup qui correspond à... Il y a des gens qui aiment bien le sombre comme ça. Moi je suis plus quelqu'un qui aime le pétillant, le coloré, tu vois. Alors, mais bref. Quand tu pars de rien, forcément t'as une meilleure dynamique. Après, Alpine a plus de thunes et de meilleurs moyens de développement. Ouais, mais Alpine, il y a un problème dans l'organisation en elle-même, tu vois. Faut voir comment ça va se dérouler cette année, mais l'année dernière, c'était catastrophique. J'aime juste pas la peinture un peu mate. Ah ouais, t'aurais préféré brillant. Ouais, c'est peut-être ça aussi le souci. C'est peut-être le côté mat qui aide pas. En tout cas, sur l'avant. Je sais pas, ça dépend, c'est difficile. On regarde le merch. Attends, Williams Racing. Après, il faut que je décale, les gars. Williams Racing. Store. Qu'est-ce que ça donne le merch de Williams pour cette saison? Oh! Mais tu sais, ça n'a rien à voir avec la gueule de la voiture. Du coup, c'est un bleu très clair et tout. Bon, 175 balles, mais quand même, j'aime bien. Moi, j'aime bien le coloré. J'aime bien avoir des habits colorés, tu vois. Classique, bon, le sweat, vite fait. Le t-shirt blanc a un flow. Franchement... Attends, là on a la casquette. Franchement, le t-shirt a un flow. Je kiffe ce bleu-là. Ouais, moi aussi. J'aurais voulu une voiture avec ce bleu-là, tu vois. Oh, le merch est sympathique, quoi. Ça casse pas trois pattes à un canard, mais il est sympa. Ce petit merch. Oh, sympa le petit polo, en vrai. Bon, on dirait un peu... Le problème, c'est que le dégradé comme ça, il me fait penser au My Team. Parce que c'est vraiment le polo que t'as en My Team, quoi qu'il arrive, peu importe la couleur que tu mets. Genre, tes mécanos, ils ont ça. mais il est sympa. Mais sinon, il est sympa. Ah, mais j'espérais un bleu plus clair, mais bref. Enfin bref, merci beaucoup tout le monde d'être passé. Comme d'hab, hein, sur les lives de Reveal, forcément, je suis obligé de cut plus rapidement pour... on retourne au taf, les gars. On rebouge. Donc, bisous. On se dit à ce soir pour le Reveal Steak F1 Team. Et puis voilà, profitez bien de votre journée. À tout à l'heure pour Steak F1 Team. Et puis voilà, bisous tout le monde, merci d'être passé encore une fois. Je vous laisse avec 3 minutes de pub si vous voulez soutenir la chaîne. Et on se dit à tout à l'heure du coup. Bisous, ciao ciao, à toutes, salut.